Hi, everyone, and welcome on back over to Group A action here on the secondary stream. That's Lacoste. Fantastic suit, by the way.
Thank you very much.
And,
Pimp suit, what Cap called it.
oh, yeah? What would you call my suit?
10 seconds remaining.
Gray suit.
All right. I'm Dakota, gray suit man, and we are
5
getting ready to hop into
seconds
heat
remaining.
number 2. It's LGD Gaming versus Optic. This is actually a pretty hype matchup right now. These are the two teams at the top, if I'm not mistaken. 3-1 apiece.
Here you
Pretty
go.
damn nice.
Yeah. Should be good. Optic really stepped up at their game. The decision making is on point. LGD Gaming, one of the strongest teams, the Chinese one, and overall, I dare to say. Besides Vici, like LGD and Vici really looking hot from China.
Yeah, I mean, LGD, they didn't have a whole lot of, what the hell's happening right now? The picks from Optic side is just non-stop. They banned immediately, and now they're picking immediately. They're just trying to shove the ball back in the court of LGD. But let's roll back a couple of steps. Whew, okay, so, yeah, I mean, LGD, they didn't have a whole lot of land track record recently coming into this
5
event, but people
seconds
were just
remaining.
putting out murmurs like, LGD are starting to look pretty good, guys. They're competing online. They're looking pretty good. They're stomping everyone else. But we were still expecting, like, Newbie and such to really be the teams to step up. Now we're in a position here, Newbie need to step up. LGD at the top, and even Optic Gaming may have been surprising some people with their performances too. So here we are. This is going to be a battle for first place of
10
Group A.
seconds
And
remaining.
look at the picks already coming up, man. LGD managed to wiggle themselves a Chen
5
pickup,
seconds
which may have been
remaining.
something that Optic were hoping to grab for themselves, but they get it instead, which means Optic snag up a Sand King and then the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah,
Best hero in the game.
I saw your face when Keeper was picked. If Optic wanted Chen, they would get it.
LGD's
Well,
turn
never
to
mind.
ban.
They had the second pick. So Sanking Keeper of the Light, Sanking one of the better heroes overall in the past, whatever, 6 months. The
Dire
hero can
team
be
ban.
played at many positions.
But wouldn't you say, like, the new Slardar's looking like a
Yeah,
possible contender now?
Yep,
you
that's
know?
definitely true. Sanking, on the other side, received a little bit of nerf, 5 movement speed removed, and stun duration per level. But I don't think that's
10
a
seconds
big
remaining.
deal. Maybe for early games, you still get Tranquil Boots, so you're speedy
seconds
enough, and you have
remaining.
move speed talent to pick it up. Anyway, level 4 stun got buffed. It was from 2.17 to 2.2 seconds. So that's a huge
LGD's
buff right
turn to
there.
ban.
0.03.
It's one of those things, like, you see it on paper and that's one thing, but maybe once you get the hero in your hands is when you start noticing and feeling these kind of differences.
Yeah.
Certainly with that, like, gyrocopter change for sure. And which, by the way, if gyrocopter is still, defeated 0-7 or
10
whatever,
I
he's
didn't-
still 0-8 now or whatever.
Well, maybe some other games
5 seconds remaining.
were more successful with the gyro.
Every time we see him, it's just
He just loses. Yeah,
Yeah.
this 10-second flag cannon increased cooldown is just way too much. People will probably realize it and switch to something else. Chen also got the nerf, which is pretty huge in terms of disrupting the enemy safe lane. So Chen doesn't pretty much do anything until he gets the first creep at 1 minute mark. Then he needs to move to a lane. So before 1:15, I can only see him just trading some right clicks in the off lane. That's pretty much it. But
Dire team
still
ban.
a little bit broken in my book with the sandbag. Just feels.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it yesterday. Even after the change, he did have a bit of a slower start, but the send back, it's just like, you can't stop it
Yeah, if you
unless
don't-
you have
if-
something to do.
If you don't have anything to dispel it, it's just way too overpowered. If you combine it with,
10
let's say,
seconds
something
remaining.
like Astral, that's a guaranteed save.
Yep.
Astral,
5
sandbag,
seconds remaining.
can't really stop it.
Goddamn. More bans to fly out here from both teams in the second phase. LGD get rid of the Beastmaster, the Puck, and the Razor. Optic remove the Night Stalker, of course, because you got Keeper of the Light. You don't want a frickin' Night Stalker out there.
LGD's
Get rid of
turn.
Shadow Fiend, Rubik, and they're going to be picking up, ooh, a Venomancer. The first, I think, we'll get to cast of the event.
Yeah, I didn't see any Venomancer so far. I mean, the hero is not a damage dealer anymore. He got the huge nerfs at one
10
point when he
seconds
was
remaining.
overpowered with the XP talent, and he
5
had the damage
seconds
talent as well. So you get faster to that damage talent, then you can actually scale well into the late game. Now Venomancer feels more like a utility build, go for a 4-staff pike, solar crest, whatever it's needed, pipe. It feels like Aghanim Scepter is a must and that hero right now, and the talents really scale well with the Aghanims as well.
Venomancer, pretty appropriate, not just because he's green and sassy for Optic Gaming, but also just because if you now you're pairing him together with a Keeper of the Light, you have pretty dang good objective defenses right now, like preventing them from being able to easily push or close out the game. And Pycat is typically one of those players who loves to get nursed on one of those really high-profile core heroes that like to really shine later on. So I wonder if this means they're going to be giving him something that could just really nurse a bit into the later game. Kyle got me intrigued enough to think, like, are you going to be considering something like a Naga or an Alchemist or something crazy like that you can stall things out?
Yeah, LGD picked up Avenge. They had great success so far with it. They played it as both position 4 and 5. X-Nova is going to play Chen, which means FY is going to be on Venge, most likely.
X-Nova's Chen yesterday was really good. I mean, X-Nova's early game has been so good almost every game. Even the game we saw them lose against TNC, he had a really good start to that game, but then just TNC were so chaotic. Makes me curious to see if Optic even watched that game. Based on their lineup, I'm not feeling like it's a chaotic kind of a draft that like TNC was able to use, but it looks like Optic kind of have their own formula they want to be going with here. It is something a bit different, so we'll see if it does kind of catch LGD off guard.
Yep. Yesterday in one of the series, they also had Chen Venge duo, so they played around it really nice. Venge swap into Centaur stun twice on Phoenix, so he couldn't even use any of his spell. Really nicely timed.
They did have Beastmaster that game, and all those auras really made it a lot better for them to kind of just accelerate the objective game once they were kind of ahead. So I wonder what they're going to supplement for the Beastmaster this time.
They banned Beastmaster by themselves. I guess they were afraid of Coddle plus Beastmaster lane. Optic loves to run it. So maybe OD should be a good pickup against these heroes. Good save hero. Really works well against the Dragon Knight. They need something. Or if they want to go with a Viper, is tanky enough, a lot of magical resistance against Venomancer and Sanking, can break the Dragon Knight as well.
5 seconds.
You know, I'm selfish for thinking about just the Coddle only, but I will say that one of the worst things you can go against as a Coddle is the Nyx Assassin. But
what?
Ooh, who's that guy? Haven't seen that guy in a while.
I think Mineski played it one game.
Yeah, I heard rumors of there was a anti-mage Naga game, so that might have been it.
Like core Naga?
Yeah.
All right. So anti-mage, it doesn't feel like this is a good anti-mage game.
5 seconds.
What is it that makes it feel like it's not a good anti-mage game? Just in case there's anyone out there who's not seeing what you're saying.
Yeah, they have a good control with Dragon Knight, Keeper of the Light. If he has no mana for a blink, Blinding Light, and then you have a Sanking with low cooldown stun. It just doesn't feel like an anti-mage game to me. Like you have heroes who don't have a big mana pool.
Are they going to be able to hunt him down, though? I mean, I imagine Anti-Mage is just going to try to avoid all that trouble, continue to farm up, you know, kind of just be under the radar, and then shine much later into the game when maybe all that stuff is just not, you know, by then he might have a Manta style to just shrug off the mana leak and ways to just kind of avoid the trouble and the lockdown of Optic. I mean, if Optic are going to be privy to that and just kind of keep him in check, I mean, I imagine that is what you want to be doing, but if they tend to ignore him and let him have his way.
With the first two picks, Chen and Venge, it feels like they want to put a lot of pressure early on, and then you pick a hero like an anti-mage who needs probably the most time to come online as a hero.
So would that mean maybe they want to do something like, I don't know, offlane Tiny and get someone else who's high, like the four of them could be high pace and then leave the anti-mage out of the game?
They're going to rely so much on a Tiny this game, so it might be a mid Tiny and get an offlane hero, which Optic also thinks. That's why they banned out the Underlord. This Tiny will need levels and to have a good early game, so he can make space for anti-mage. And the push lineup already coming up from Optic is really good. That's why anti-mage pick surprises me.
I wonder what they will get for that offlane then.
They can still put the Tiny on the offlane and move Chen after. It's not as strong as before, but it's still good.
Remaining.
But then you end up with the lane Venge and the anti-mage, which is pretty weak.
Ooh, Lady Lena comes out. Not the first time we had seen this Lena come out either. Was it?
No, this
you
is
played
like
it?
the third time I see Lena. Tiny.
Oh, it was SCCC who did play it the one time we caught it.
10 seconds
So it's gonna be
remaining.
a Tiny on the off lane.
Yep.
Lena
5
mid.
I mean, the
seconds
four of
remaining.
them outside of anti-mage should be able to kind of get some work done and kind of pull attention elsewhere. But
Choose your
okay, I mean,
hero.
for a Pycat hero that wants to be able to pull it to the late part of this game, I think you couldn't ask really for anything better than a Terrorblade.
I'm not sure about this anti-mage pick. It just doesn't feel right to me. Especially against the Terrorblade. She just destroys him. Terrorblade destroys anti-mage. Maybe at the like super late game, anti-mage can man up and fight against him. But the lineup from Optic Gaming is really fast. They don't have any big ulti cooldowns. Even if they have some, but even if they're on cooldown, they can still take a fight. I mean, same goes for LGD. Also, no big ulti cooldowns. But I gotta say, Optic Gaming lineup feels great. They just need not to lose the laning stage too hard. PPD will be the one playing Coddle, 33 on a Venomancer.
I wonder how they're going to lane it up. You know, are they going to bring the Coddle alongside the Venomancer, you think? I mean, that's a pretty disgusting lane.
I think they want to pressure the anti-mage, so I suppose they will have two heroes at one point with that Venomancer. Dragonite is self-sustainable, doesn't need any rotation before he gets level 6. Then you want to pressure the tower, so we can expect Sanking or Coddle moving there. But until he gets to level 6, it's just going to be pretty much static, either on bottom or a top lane, the support duo from Optic.
Calm down, Peter. Good luck, have fun in all caps. He's like yelling it at the other team right now. You just got to relax a bit. Look at the instant movement coming out here from Optic. They insta-pinged and smoked and beelined it directly towards Chalice's direction. He's actually going to be popping up from the bottom. Ooh, may have just narrowly avoided that one. They ping it out now, but it looks like that opportunity may be a bit too late. So instead they just plop down. Good deep ward.
Yeah, that deep ward will provide them the info about how the lanes are going to go, so they can swap accordingly.
30 seconds
All right,
to
they see
battle.
Tiny to the bottom lane here. So I'm eager to see how they decide to make their adjustments. Meanwhile, LGD have their own movements here. It looks like at the moment, Ame on that anti-mage is with FY's Vengeful Spirit towards the top half of the map. I'm wagering we'll, no surprise, see maybe, aka Somnus, is Lena, residing in this mid lane, of course, with those two shared
The
tangos
battle
and one null
begins.
in hand.
Didn't we decide that we're not going to call him Somnus? Because nobody calls him.
I said, why do we have to call him Somnus? I think maybe is such a cooler name, but Somnish.
LGD maybe, it just seems so right.
Yeah, I know, but he's Somnus now. We have to let it go. He's grown up. I don't know what it'll be after Somnus, but hopefully it's something closer to maybe. Let's get it started, folks. This is our second heat of Group A action. LGD and Optic Gaming, both these teams at the top of Group A, sporting a sweet 3-1 record. One of these teams will advance into the first place position and possibly almost an auto guarantee to move on at least into the main event.
Yeah, I love how Optic plays the lanes. They had a good info about what they're going to do. So it feels like it's going to be a decent lane. LGD is going to have a farm, of course.
Uh-oh. Looks like first blood opportunity here for Chalice. They hit him with the burrow, and of course they got the Metamorph. One more right click would do it, but he just gets out of reach. Zai's eating way too much damage from the tower, and is going to have to backpedal a bit. Chalice will be drinking down that salve to heal on up, and it looks like he will avoid the first blood.
Yeah, you want to use that meta early on.
Yeah.
Just zone him out. Look at the...
Zai wants to give it a second try, though. This time he has the benefit, of course, of using the reflection after committing it.
They push, yeah, they push the wave, use the glyph, so they deal a lot of damage to the tower as well. Almost 200. It's going to actually drop below 200 damage. So with the Chen creep being picked up, he needs to run away, go around, because they block the spot. They
He's being
expect the
spotted,
Chen.
though.
Yeah.
They have that ward very nicely placed. from Optic to see the movement here of Nova. We hear the magic missile fly out, and they're looking to make a catch, and they will get it done. It's Nova who gets that first blood on the 3-3. They had to have seen the rotations over, but he was getting a little too caught up in the mix up there, and ended up paying the price.
Yeah, Chen picked up the Mud Golem, so he has the extra one as well. So that's 4 rocks dropped, 125 damage. It's pretty impossible to play against.
Chalice.
Once that Mud Golem splits, he's gonna have more.
And I know from experience, like Coddle, like it is not obviously the best defensive support. Once they're making an approach on your core, you're just kind of like, man, I'll try to line up a blast, but I don't know what else the hell you want from me. So once they kind of get onto 3-3, there's only so much that Peter can offer to be able to help him out.
So maybe they helped him out with blocking with this camp. Having these 4 Mud Golems is just going to be a disaster.
Moves for Peter between the Golem and a magic missile. They stun him down a couple of times, but he will
Yep.
be able to slither out.
X-Nova wants to have this camp.
High contention for the side camp there in the top lane, but they're at least sapping away a bit of the XP and even going in for some last hits as well, FY. But a blast will fly forward from Peter to help guarantee at least some money.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
How is the CS working out in the mid lane? It looks like DK is just a little favorable there. 18 to Lena's 15. Stun out. Bottom lane. They're going to give it the old 3rd, 4th try for Chalice, but just fending him back. This is the 2nd Metamorphosis now pulled up from Pycat.
Yeah, most of the time Chalice, if he has a good game, he really shines on those blink initiating heroes, but he's really shut down. He's sitting on what, 6 CS? Not the worst, but he's gonna need to bring a lot of regen to the bottom lane.
Or a lot of TPs, right? 7 of them, probably? That's what they thought worked for him last time. Top lane, net onto Peter, and a magic missile. Jump in from Amy, but again, Peter's just going to casually walk through trees and away from trouble. The heavy aggression still there from LGD.
It was KP, not Chalice.
Yeah, I was going
7
to say,
TPs.
it was someone else, but he's like, I don't think I'm going to take Somnus's advice, on, or KP's advice on this one.
I love the build on Lena with Null Talisman and the Ring of Aquila. It gives her so much damage, mana regen, and a little bit of stats. Plus, she also has regen, because why not?
Stuns will be traded from both sides here. CC and C will be forced to use the South. It gets promptly canceled, but he's got the life necessary. More pull action happening across the map here. Peter doing his best to mitigate things a bit. And as we see, Chalice and Pycat now turned into a 1v1 kind of a lane, because we have Zai currently rotated over towards this mid lane, maybe looking for a possible setup, but he got pinged. So I think they know something's happening. You do have that ward.
They can't kill him unless CCNC gets that level 6. They're not gonna have enough. I already said that they're gonna rotate once he gets the level 6, but it's not very effective. Top lane is pretty much lost for Optic. Gaming Keeper of the Light can't be there, so Venom should just start skilling Plague Wards to defend the tower against the creeps. If the creep decide to dive him, use Venomous Gale on the creep to slow him down, and that's pretty much it.
Stun, toss onto Zai, throw a tree at him. Whoop. Almost gets him down with that. Zai will be forced back, but this has got to be a little unnerving for Optic. I mean, Nova is residing in their jungle, just kind of doing their own free will, and top lane continues to be a struggle, as we see here. A hard move being made for 3-3. And Illuminate will fly out from PPD, but it's still only level 1. They'll now level it up into the 2nd point. But, you know, not the biggest amount of kill potential in this lane for Optic.
Oh, Chen is already behind the Dragonite. They don't have the best creeps to initiate with. They need to get close. Lena, there's a haste on top.
Oh, Chalice welcomes Zai to the high ground. Zai was just trying to waltz over and see what was happening with that bounty rune, and he will head out the other direction. Chalice will TP back to the tower because Pycat's there, and he is metamorphed. Reflection onto Chalice, but Pycat will just try to take out the wave and soften up the tower even further. His goal, of course, is just kind of be left alone and continue to farm up for the rest of his team if possible. But right now he is winning in the CS game. AM is nipping at his heels, though.
Yeah, that bottom tower is being really pressured from Optic. Top lane can be easily defended with Venomancer. He just needs a little bit more levels to get those points in Plague Wards.
Yeah, meanwhile, Peter's taking out waves. Bottom lane, Zai goes for the move, this time onto FY. They were not successful at getting Chalice down in this bottom lane, but the second that FY shows up, they find a easier, supple target to jump on, and they are successful with it. Optic get themselves on the board. This game's even 1-1.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Mana Void on Anti-Mage. It received a bit buff. It's really good on level 1, 0.2 more than it was before. So you can be more active early on, but the problem is Optic Gaming doesn't have heroes with big mana pool.
I mean, Coddle, when he gives them Chakra, does enhance their mana pool a little bit bigger, so.
But they also get the mana.
They do get the mana. But they could get the mana and then spend it all. I'm overthinking it. Smoke out here for LGD with Nova and company. Has the Hellbear Smasher and the Satyr with FY. They should have a decent amount of lockdown. It looks like their sights are going to be set for CC and C with the Laguna available in the pocket. Should lead to instant demise. Oh, CC's like, oh, cool, an Invis rune. Oh, but they look to make the move onto him, and it looks like it's an ambush. There's the Hellbear Smasher, there's the stun, and he just gets obliterated.
Yeah, a little bit of overkill there with Laguna, maybe. Oh, he had 12 charges on a wand, so that's fine. Even Anti-Mage rotated.
Everybody wants a piece of the pie. Top lane, after Ame makes his return, he's going to be welcomed with a Poison Gale and a Burrow Strike, but he's an Anti-Mage. Doesn't really care too much about him with level 1 Spell Shield. I guess he's not going to be eating too much heavy harassment. But the attention is back at this mid lane. It looks like PPD has shown up to add some extra defensives.
Yeah, that mid tier 1 tower is really important because it opens up the entrance to the jungle as well. You don't have to go around. Anti-Mage on top lane.
Yeah, he should be able to blink away from this potentially. He's looking to hit hard. He does the Mana Void, but it doesn't do as much damage as he was hoping. And he'll have to blink away.
Yeah, you could see the increased damage. That 0.2 really makes a difference. He decided to go for Ring of Aquila, just to increase his farming and damage it. I have a feeling that the Ring of Aquila will be slightly nerfed in the probably a couple of patches. For Agi heroes, it's just way too good. Even on some other heroes like OD, mid laners like Lina as well. It provides you way too much. And it's cheap, easy to make.
Smoke from LGD. They're on the move. And it looks like they're going to be heading all the way down. Pycat has had a little bit too much happening for him in this bottom lane with 69 and 18 CS. They feel like it's time for him to pay the piper. Hello. And there it is. Bada bing, bada boom. See you later.
Yeah, he stayed on the bottom lane for way too long. They should have swapped after the tower was gone. Maybe rotate 33 on the bottom lane because that's the loss they can take.
Here we go. First Dragon form of the game. This time they will be successful in taking down Ame. Well, you take a little bit. I like how Pycat's even like, well played. Well played. Thanks for getting back. Thanks for getting me back right there, guys.
Carry for carry, an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
What's the second one? A tooth
for a tooth.
And then
a gonad for a gonad. I don't know.
Tower
Tower's a piece, core's a piece. Peter, though, helps defend out this bottom lane. Blasting it on forward, even gets the 3rd point now into that Illuminate. I always like to see where they go from here, though. Do you get the instant pick onto that Spirit form? In this game, probably. Getting the earlier Blinding Light could be pretty damn beneficial, but sometimes they get greedy and they like to go for the 3rd point into Chakra Magic, or maybe Value Point into Mana Leak.
Yeah, they're keeping the pressure. They have Siege Creep with Veno Wards, which are level 4, Dragon Knight. They deal a lot of damage to that tower.
Rotation's coming. We got a Laguna up again here for Somnus. And he looks to make the run in. CC&C has been spotted with FY assisting that wave of terror. Or was he not spotted? Oh, canceled the TP with the Mana Void. Now they'll be able to get him. I thought FY might have seen
Yeah,
him there, but I guess he didn't want to do anything about it. All right.
No, it was really weird by FY. He started attacking wards instead of getting into that trees to see what he's going to do. I mean, they saw him having a TP. Meanwhile, on the mid lane,
Peter got the
Peter
tower.
gets the tower because why not?
I just probably got, you know, a little unlucky, I guess, with an auto right click. Well, Pike has full metamorph and illusions, but, you know, I'm sure Peter's like, I'll take the money, I guess. He gets Tranquils, so he's one of the fastest heroes in the game right now.
Arcane Rune Keeper of the Light.
Feels good, man.
Name more iconic duo.
Don't do this to me.
Look at this blast.
I love that new spot. And like, ever since like they added and moved around these neutral camps, now you could easily blast through 2 camps at once, or stack 2 camps at once. It's pretty fun. You can even do it on the other side if you were a little closer.
It's gonna take a lot of time for Anti-Mage to get to his Battle Fury. What is he sitting at? 4.5k net worth. Then you have a Terrorblade who's 2.2k more than him.
Bottom, Yules, stun, Laguna. Man, Laguna feels like it's just up all the time. It's just over a minute, and I feel like they just continue to find ganks and opportunities to use it on nearly every minute. Which is good. Again, we were expecting that outside the anti-mage that they would have a nice 4-man movement to be able to cause a lot of a ruckus and a lot of attention to pull away from Ame. And we'll maybe see a bit more coming in the hands of Chalice. He's getting pretty close to that Blink Dagger now, just about 150 away.
Yeah, the problem is Ame does not have any vision on the top lane, so he can't farm safely.
Radiant are scanning.
So Dragon Knight should get an initiation item. Most of the time Dragon Knights get Blink Dagger because they can position themselves better. But this game, Shadowblade feels better because you can upgrade it to Silver Edge and then break Anti-Mage in the later stages.
Yep.
Tiny has enough gold to buy a Blink Dagger. He just needs to get to the shop. Maybe he will even decide to go for a Shadowblade. Not sure. Has a Blink queued up.
Seems to be thinking about it for a bit.
Well, he can't get close to the side shop because there's a lot of Venom wards.
Looks like he'll eventually make his way there, but for his teammates here, it's a Laguna up again, so why not look to find something? Samas waits behind the tower here to see if 3-3 shows himself. They'll probably see the wards there and consider a dive, but do have to be privy to the possible rotation. But while that happens, if they make a hard commitment to the top lane, Optic will do the same, and they are going to do the same on the bottom. Look at this. Metamorph, illusions, and a dragon form. Towers don't stand a chance.
There's Epic committed.
Hard move in from the back lines, but Nova just pieces right out.
They're going to continue.
Yeah, they are. Meanwhile, I mean, they're having a hard time breaking through all these ridiculous wards at the top.
Radiant's middle tower
They have Keeper of the Light to call someone on bottom if needed. They might as well go for a mid tower actually because the lane is pushed as well.
Peter's here. He's got preemptive blast to catch anyone who tries to even make an approach. He actually times it out nicely to blast through the wave. Hard pressure really going to be coming in from Optic on this one. A little bit of time left on this Metamorph. It looks like they'll secure not 1 but 2 tier 2s. Zai finds Chalice at the top with that new Blink Dagger. Tries to go for the TP, but they quickly knock him on the noggin, and he's going to get canceled. Optic on a tear right now.
Yeah, nice play there by Venge. I mean, she has 70 damage, but managed to deny the tower from Terrorblade, which is a huge chunk of gold for
Top
everyone.
lane, Ame, sorry. A little close there. Eating hefty damage. It could run into Zai. Oh, Zai spots him, hits him with the burrow. He has the blink up again. Tries to go and hide within the trees. Oh, CCNC tried to maybe blink over, but it looks like he's not going to get close enough.
Yeah, so CCNC decided to go for a Blink Dagger. It costs less and gives him the better positioning in fights that I was talking about, but still has Shadowblade queued up.
Do you think that's too much for mobility and you should just have committed to the Shadowblade, or do you think it's just still nice to have
He might swap things around if they feel like they need to break the high ground. He should swap to a BKB, so he will be that frontliner. There's a lot of magical burst damage.
All right, this tower will not get taken away from Pycat. He gets it even in melee form. Swap back, though, from FY. Pycat looks to juke him within the trees. 3-3, waddles himself on in. Still doesn't have that ultimate, so he's just trying to do it the old-fashioned way, but boom! Somnus zaps down Pycat, and we'll be able to get the finish. Somnus now dominating at this point, but we're not done yet. Chalice combo onto 3-3 will help get the finish. It's Nova who picks up that one. Now on a killing spree here. A couple of kills trickling the way of LGD at this point.
They should play more safe inside of Optic. I mean, Anti-Mage is still not a huge factor. Look at his farm. Still 1,000 gold away from that Battle Fury because he decided to go for all these small items. Power Threads, Keela, Magic Wand. He needed that to survive, but it's gonna delay his Battle Fury timing. Xnova, again, playing really, really well. 0 deaths so far, level 8 on that Chen. Wants to scale into the late game, so Aghanim Scepter should be the choice for him. Zai with the fresh Blink Dagger.
And a smoke. It's time to make a strong debut with it. Blinking DK, blinking SK. The Kings.
Okay,
The Kings are on the move.
double K for me. So Venomancer with the hood will build into a pipe, which will give them great tier 3 siege potential as well.
Oh, they spotted Chalice in the river, and as he heads to the high ground, they welcome him with open arms. Can they get the burst, though? They need a bit more. He does everything he can to be able to shrug it off with the help of the wand, but they eventually get it done. Somnus, though, finds his own bit of return fire, getting the finish onto 3-3, 1 apiece, but here comes potential revenge. Jump in, stun 1, stun 2, and they'll get Nova down.
Yeah, there's a lot of slow potential coming out from Optic Gaming. Sometimes I want to call them OG, but so they have a reflection. They have a Venomancer with all that slow. They have Caustic Finale, Dragon Knight as well when he hits. So they should just keep the pressure. This opens up the Roach for them, and then they can easily siege the tier 3s. That's a double damage on the Terrorblade because why not?
Peter blasts another wave or so, and with this Roche, he's pretty much going to have his Agnums complete as well.
So I think Sanking should be the one buying all the wards for Optic Gaming now and give Keeper of the Lifetime the spike his Blink Dagger. He's already sitting on a point booster and 1.8k gold, and then they're good to go. This really feels like an Optic game if they don't throw it away. Battle Fury finished on Anti-Mage, so he's gonna try to split a lot, but you have Keeper of the Light with a recall, and you have 2 mobile heroes in terms of Sanking and Dragon Knight with Blink Dagger, so they can easily catch Anti-Mage and just stop that split push.
Anti-Mage does have that Battle Fury now complete. Queued up the Yasha, likely into the Manta, of course. LGD just had a little bit of a stunt right now. Optic's advantage isn't the biggest on paper, with just about 1k, but feels more significant than that for sure.
Yep. Lena decided to go for cast range. Somehow I feel 30 damage is just way too good not to have it, and then you scale really good into the late game.
We'll see if she can at least hit the tower from further. Oh, jumping from Chalice. Tosses right back onto Somnus. And he's able to get off the combo, but 33 lives on. Now a turnaround. Looks like Nova's going to be the first one to hit the deck. Optic just come out suddenly in full force, ready for the turnaround.
Yeah, he's really tanky with that Magic Wand and Hood on Venomancer. So pretty hard to take down. They were trying to bait with Chen creeps just to give the vision and initiate the fight. But Zai was ready. I think Zai, if he decides to go for another item, I think he should go for Yule Scepter so they have something to dispel the send back to Chen. Has a Bloodstone. Maybe Suicide will be needed. Oh!
Turn around, nice stun connection. Chalice moves in with the toss. Pycat very low. He has no Sunder, so he needs to wait on the outside here. Ooh, Mana Leak been picked up, but they are going to easily send him right back home and away.
Let's see if Zai decides to go for that Yule Scepter. They really need it. He already has that Wind Blaze, which is 1.4 percentage of Yule Scepter as an item. So why not use it?
Good match. I mean, I know you were calling out for Blink Dagger, I think, on Peter's Coddle, but I guess he could also get a Yule's, you know?
What kind of Blink Dagger on Peter? No, I said Aghanim Scepter.
Oh, okay.
Are you even listening to me?
I swear
I'm calling the cops.
We're checking the tapes. Here we go. Trouble, it looks like, for Somnus here. Oh, or is he going to be able to get the Suicide? Wow. He's gone.
So Anti-Mage with the casual Yasha.
Stun out. Toss in. FY in a bit of trouble. The mana leak. He's not going to be able to make it back away. Turns around, decides to do off the magic missile. But Optic are moving in to the home of LGD. Pycat, fearsome as ever, just starts chopping away at that tier 3. CCNC does have Dragon form, and just one more second could decide to pop
dodge.
it, and he will. Jump in. It's the blast. Can he get away? Oh, they're going to have to use the Aegis on this one, but looks like it's still going to work out just fine here. FY goes down again. Now the Raxes are totally exposed. Fortify is going to have to be used. Nova just trying to do what he can here. Jumping from Chalice, another stun, but Zai responds with his own. He's going to be forced to toss Zai back. But it looks like they are going to be able to at least get the ranged Rax down. This melee seems to be dropping as well. CCNC will get the finish, and Optic walk away with the first bit of significant base damage. Now, of course, the whole time, our anti-mage friend has been farming, but we'll have to see how much it's going to benefit him and the rest of the team here. Looks like he's got just pretty much his Manta complete.
No, he's going for Lincoln Sphere. What it seems to be. He doesn't want to get Sundered or Sanking stun, Dragonite stun, which is pretty good choice. I feel like if he wanted to go for something, he could have gone for maybe Agony Scepter first, which is pretty much the same cost. Against the Dragonite stun, it's good. Against the Sunder, not that good. What happens? So you block and use it on him. So it actually just uses the Sunder, if I'm not mistaken.
Samus in a bit of trouble here, but send back from Chen. Bail him out. LGD just using Chalice and Ame at the moment to kind of split up these other lanes. FY moves forward. Him and Ame are going to be eating the Poison Nova, but that means that Ame is just going to be able to pop him on down. Peter calling in Zai for assistance while trying to totally mana leak out Ame. Ame is able to hide on the side. They actually get the positive read on him, but he's already TP'd away.
Yeah, that's going to be a death of FY. Daylight is in 3 seconds, so this is the good timing to push. They're already drawing on a minimap. Venomancer, he decided to go for Arcane Boots, and I was expecting from 33 to go for Eon Disc this game, because there's a lot of burst damage potential from Tiny and Lina, especially Anti-Mage. He has quite high mana pool.
Looks like bottom is going to be the course for Optic to set sail, but meanwhile, a little bit of trading here on that mid lane. I imagine they're going to be calling in CCNC any moment. He has a Dragon form ready to go. I mean, there is some minor pressure coming in from LGD up at the top lane, but Optic know that their push is that much better.
It's daytime. He transformed BKB on a Terrorblade. He's so jacked.
Peter just needs to keep blasting right down that mid.
By jacked, I don't mean Jack Chen jack.
Oh, LGD. Another send back going to be used. This one on Tiny. That tower is done for. Quickly going to try to wipe out the wave. The wards are starting to get planted. The siege is just so good here from Optic. I'm not too sure what LGD can do to offer a swap, maybe? Swap back for Pycat. He just instantly pops the BKB, turns his attention on the Chalice, and will easily delete him from the game.
They're all full HP.
There's just nothing you can do.
It feels so bad when you're playing Chen and then you're stuck in your own base. That's the worst kind of a game that Chen can have. Anti-Mage actually finished the Manta style because he needed an item to fight, but they need a Tiny. They is still up for another 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Roche, what about the Roche timings? May respawn in a minute. So they're just going to wait for the next Metamorphosis and try to finish the game from there. Maybe scout the Roche, go for Roche because the lanes are pushed in on the LGD gaming side, and just take it slow. Give Aegis to deal the Terrorblade. They're really not in a rush, but they want to keep the pressure because, I mean, when you're playing against the Anti-Mage with just one good mana void, he can turn the fight around.
This looks like a tough hill to climb or a tough long green wall to climb, am I right? Oh, LGD just kind of really stuck indoors with a few of their cores trying to whittle out, find some farm, and trying to be relevant here. But like you were mentioning, Optic just simply have to play with the clock and could decide to go a very safe route and taking out the Shrines, getting the Roche, and then kind of advancing on forward, or could just, you know, wait for the cooldown of Metamorph and such.
Yeah, only 19 kills this game. Not too much action going on, but still. So there's 2 Force Staffs on the side of LGD, one on Tiny. He decided to go for more of a utility build, so they can save someone who gets Dragonite stunned, or just Sanking stunned. One on Lena, that's a full pike. That's why I mentioned that she should have gone for the damage talent instead.
Burrow strike in from Zai. The chase is on. They're going to have to settle for FY, it would look like. Oh. Dominating for Pycat here after getting that sweet little pick off. Just I was just
I love the play from Sanking. He bought the Force Staff recipe, but realized that they need that Heal Scepter to cancel the TPs and the sendback from Chen, so he actually bought the Heal Scepter. Well played, Zai.
CCNC already in his dragon form, and here comes the party. They still have 20 seconds of daytime to make this work and to push forward into Megas. It's all or nothing right now for LGD if they want to hold on to the top position of Group A. But their odds are certainly stacked against them. The jumping from Chalice, the instant Yules is there, the stun follow-up, the bump back, the bump forward, it doesn't matter. He's going to get bumped straight to hell. And now it's all on the rack. So buyback is going to be forced out, but how can they stop the action coming in? Well, they can use a Fortify. That will help for a bit.
It's nighttime now.
Okay. No more additional heals coming in from the Illuminates, and no extra unobstructed vision. But okay.
Maybe they could have committed to kill the melee Raxes with the BKBs, both BKBs, 110, 19 second on both cores of side of Optic. This is do or die for LGD right now.
They smoke, and they're looking to go for a chase, recognizing the opportunity to go for Optic while maybe some of those cooldowns are there. And while it's nighttime, 3-3 dishes out the Poison Nova, jumping in. Chalice trying to get something done, but he gets hit with a Mana Leak. The blasts are going to be coming out. Stun connection is there. Nicely done from Zai for the setup. Okay, here we go. Zapping on in. 3-3 will get finished, but he already spent everything, so he's going to be fine with that. 2 to drop from the side of LGD. And Optic still come out in the better.
They need Phoenix ulti just to turn night into day.
Looks like Somnus could be in a bit of trouble here. Yules, they wait, and they're going to be able to blast him down.
That was a huge mana void. Pycat swapped with one of the anti-mage illusions, which were full HP. Dragonite form is up, but he doesn't have too much HP. Three down. They should just try to get the Roche. They're not in a hurry. A lot of buybacks committed on the side of LGD. Roche is up, so that's Cheese and Aegis on both cores. With those up on Optic Gaming's cores, I don't think that LGD has any chances of coming back into this game. Yeah. Anti-Mage has a Lincoln Sphere, but still, he doesn't deal damage. There's also Crimson Guard finished on Venomancer. He's super jacked, tanky. Look at his HP. I mean, he can build a lot of utility items because of that 90 GPM talent on level 10. So 3 Force Staffs on side of LGD. A lot of push me pull you play.
I mean, they're trying, man. They're trying to stretch out the clock as much as possible here.
Do you know what push me pull you is?
What is it? I hope it's not sexual.
It's that whatever. I think a goat plus something plus a horse from Dr. Dolittle.
Nope. Sorry, not familiar with that one.
All right.
Oh, I just gotta Google that after this. LGD creeping around knowing that the attention is going to be toward this Roche pit. Maybe taking a fight outside their base would be in their best interest here. Peter begins the recall process. Ame looks for a jump in. Zai will flee out. Ame thinking about chasing.
Yeah, the lanes are pushed out for LGD, the ones that they have megas. So they should take a fight. It's a daytime in 50 seconds.
Yep.
Holy shit, I'm good with this clock. Day and night time.
Somnus has been just planted inside this Roche pit, thinking that he's hiding in there. Now he decides to roll on out. Jump in from Chalice, nice stun onto 2. He gets the lob from CCNC, who quickly pops to BKB. Lines up a stun onto Nova. Somnus is able to scoot out to the high ground and get sent packing just before Nova dies. And the follow-up could be for Ame. Ame is just trying to pull their attention away from the base. Please come and chase me. Please, thinking about doing something else. Obviously, Optic are just going to be done with that chase and take their business into the Roche pit.
That's a Thunderblade with the full butterfly, level 19. Once they use the reflection with auras coming out from Venge, Anti-Mage just burning his own mana, way too strong. They want to take a fight 4 versus 5 because if they lose the Roche, they're definitely losing the game.
Jump in, stun. Oh, Ame blinking into assist, gets welcomed with the stun right away, and the mana leak is going to be what pops him there. He is out of this one 70 seconds without a buyback. I'm not sure if Optic are aware of that or not, but this could be the beginning of the end right now. Looks like a follow-up is going to be there for Somnus. They'll get him too.
Yeah, that's the game, definitely. I mean, the lanes are pushed out. It's just a matter of time until they decided to go for a mid lane.
I mean, they're trying to stall things out. Even FY is pulling their attention maybe up to the top of the lane. Chalice is actually pretty close to that Roche. Does Chalice dare jump in?
He needs to.
Do it, buddy. Come on, Chalice. Come on, Chalice. I believe. Let's go. He got it. There we go, baby. I don't think it's going to help him, but they got it.
Still,
okay. Slides out, goes to the TP, and see you later.
One of the better plays that he could have gone for, besides stealing the Aegis, he could have forced one of them out after he used the combo, so that's less chance of them picking up the cheese as well.
He knew he
it's
was
about
gonna
the perfection.
All right, a cute play, but this one looking like it's going to belong to Optic here. And here comes the cherry on top. A jump in from Zai with the epicenter to catch out the back lines. Their full focus going to be set onto Somnus here. He gets the Yules off with the send back. He'll be back inside his base, but only 2 will be alive here for this defense. Ransacked base, only 1 more Rax remains. Oh, that fortify it. You want it, you're going to have to work for it, guys.
And they're working for it.
LGD should know that this one is as good as over, but they are just going to force Optic to really work for it. Finally, the call has been made from the Prince FY, and it's now Optic who sit as kings of Group A. The green wall stands tall.
Nicely said, Dakota. That's 4-1 for Optic. So LGD is 3-2, Vici Gaming 3-2 as well, Liquid 2-2 so far.
So who does Optic have left to play? I don't think they've played Liquid yet, right?
Optic,
that's going to be a pretty nice matchup.
They need to play Liquid,
yep.
They need to play
Liquid and Keen.
Keen,
oh.
Yeah, so
I think it's almost without saying that Optic may have just guaranteed
yep.
their spot into a top 2 position, means that they have guaranteed a straight to the main event. That's got to feel pretty damn good.
Optic's playing so damn well, man, and PPD and his drafts are really on point this tournament.
And Pycat too. They keep getting Pycat those kind of core farming heroes, and he's like a machine. He's like, I know what I gotta do, and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, most of the time they just last pick Pycat's hero because they want to have the matchup advantage. And I mentioned it before the game started that Anti-Mage doesn't really look like a good pick, and that this is the reason why. Even though he had the most CS, he couldn't do anything this game. He blinks in, they just kite around him. Too much anti-mage heroes.
Yeah, LGD's got me scratching my head a bit, because some games it's like they're playing like all-stars, and then some games they kind of do these funky drafts. The anti-mage pickup reminds me of the first game we casted of theirs when they did like the Arc Warden and stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I heard that Ame's a big Arc Warden pub player, but I don't know. The drafting feels a bit hit or miss, so we'll have to see how things will pan out for LGD. But again, congratulations to Optic Gaming now at the top. That is just our second heat of Group A action today. We'll cut to a break, and when we come back, we're going to be heading right into heat number 3.